What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, sickos and normies? We've got a big update for you all today in regards to Kingdom Hearts 4, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, and the career of Tetsuya Nomura himself. Now, before we continue, major shout out to Audrey Iteki Mochi over on Twitter/X. If you're looking for updates about all things Square Enix, Audrey is a great account to follow, so if you're on Twitter/X, highly recommend following this profile. Now, with that said, we've got an interview with Nomura that's going to be dropping over the next couple of days. I plan on doing an entire podcast about it, but I felt that this snippet deserved its own video because I have what I guess might be a hot/controversial take. But before we get into that, let's cover the news itself. Now, Nomura says in an interview with Young Jump that he envisions Kingdom Hearts 4 and Missing Link as new titles to the series rather than just sequels. After Kingdom Hearts 3 ended, he wanted to kind of reset the story, so they even hired new writers and changed the logo to make it easier for newcomers to join the series. Regarding Quadratum, he views it as a fake reality set in reality, in his idea of a fantasy world. Now here comes the spicy part. Speaking realistically, he sees himself retiring in some few years, and people ask if he'll retire first or finish the Kingdom Hearts series first. In the interview, I saw another excerpt, he laughs. That LOL is supposed to be a Nomura laugh. However, Kingdom Hearts 4 is a game made with the intention of heading to that conclusion eventually. So again, there's a lot to unpack here, but let's take it from the top. Obviously, we've discussed this on this channel, that Kingdom Hearts 4, in a lot of ways, is sort of acting as a soft reset. It's the launch of a new saga, a new arc, new locations, new characters, whole bit. Anyway, nothing really new there. As for his comments about fake reality set in reality, again, this is all stuff that those of us who have put this series under a microscope have already figured out for the most part. Although I will say I do think it's a good idea for them to really market Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4 as new entry points for fans. And again, if you enjoy Kingdom Hearts 4 and Missing Link and those are your first games, there's no reason that you can't go back and experience the Dark Seeker saga. Now, with that said, let's get to the real juicy and spicy stuff here, and that's Nomura talking about his retirement. Retiring in some few years. Let's start with that one right there. So look, I see some people freaking out, thinking that this might mean he's going to retire in like 3 years. Few is a very vague term. And again, remember, this is being translated over from Japan, so we already have a game of telephone being played here. But few years can mean anything from 3 to 5 to 7 to 8. It's a very vague statement, so it's not indicative of anything happening anytime soon, but what it does show you is that Nomura is considering his future in mind. Now, let's move on to the next part. People ask if he'll retire first or finish the Kingdom Hearts series first. I am definitely preferable to the latter. I personally, you guys know how I feel, I've talked about this at great length, but I've yet to see an IP lose its creator and visionary and continue to thrive. Just from what I've observed in my lifetime, when an IP loses its creator, loses its visionary, it's not much longer before it gets run into the ground. Now, before I continue any more on that, let's finish the statement. However, Kingdom Hearts 4 is a game made with the intention of heading to that conclusion eventually. So what that signals to me is that this Lost Masters arc, this new saga with the Master of Masters and Foretellers that we're launching, this is designed to be the end of Kingdom Hearts. This is designed to be the end of the story that Nomura is trying to tell. Now, I know that that can be an upsetting thing, but for me, I'm actually relieved to hear this from Nomura. I'm actually relieved to hear that he has an ending in mind. He has a conclusion in mind, and with the start of Kingdom Hearts 4 and Missing Link, we are actively moving towards that conclusion. Again, to me, that's nothing but good news, because things that continue to go on perpetually without a definitive end, they just deteriorate over time. So I'm happy that Nomura has an ending in mind for the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, the good news is, even if he does retire before the series is finished, it seems like he has the story in mind. He has it outlined and planned out so that he could pass it on to whoever he deems can responsibly handle the task. Now, again, me personally, I would hope Nomura sees it through to the end. I really, really would, because at the end of the day, you just don't have Kingdom Hearts without Nomura. Nomura is a crucial part to the DNA of Kingdom Hearts. If Kingdom Hearts was a cell, Tetsuya Nomura is its nucleus. So, again, I personally think that this is a bit of a mixed bag. Obviously, Nomura is one of my favorite developers in video game history. So it would be sad to see him go. But I'm happy that he has a plan in place specifically for this IP so that it can land on its feet in its conclusion. I think that's nothing but good news. Also, should Nomura retire before the Kingdom Hearts series concludes, I'm certain Square Enix Disney will bring him on board in a consulting role just to make sure things are running smoothly. Again, personally, I would much prefer Nomura sees this series through to the end and then retires when it finishes. I think that might be a great way to go out with a bang, because I fear what this series would become without him. I really do. I really do fear what this series would become without Tetsuya Nomura at the reins. So personally, I want this series to end with Nomura. When Nomura is done with the series should be done. I think if you wanted to keep it going at Disney and Square Enix, you'd have to tell an entirely new story set in an entirely new world with entirely new characters. Because I personally think Nomura's legacy should be left alone when he retires and this series concludes, at least the series in his image concludes. And again, while hearing Nomura having retirement in mind isn't good news per se, the fact that he has a plan for Kingdom Hearts and that we are moving towards a conclusion for fans like myself, I think is good news. Because when it's all said and done, the Dark Seeker saga, the Lost Masters arc, and whatever comes after it is going to be more than enough games to keep us satisfied for a lifetime. I mean, we're still going back and playing the old games. I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1 right now. But anyway, that's pretty much all I'm going to have for you guys today. I will say, one thing I want is for Nomura to get one main Final Fantasy title before his retirement. Seems like he's got Kingdom Hearts under wraps. They're going to let him do his thing. But I think it would be a damn shame if Tetsuya Nomura in his career doesn't get to direct a mainline Final Fantasy game. So that's where my pain comes in. I'm relieved to hear he's got a plan for Kingdom Hearts, but I would hope Square Enix gives him his due and lets him have one last hurrah directing or running the show for a mainline Final Fantasy title. But again, as far as Kingdom Hearts is concerned, again, sucks to hear that he wants to retire within the next few years. Could be 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, who knows? But I take a lot of solace in knowing that he has a plan for the Kingdom Hearts story, has a plan for the Kingdom Hearts series, and that we are working towards a conclusion. I think things that end are better than things that continually go on. For instance, I've been a Dragon Ball fan my whole life. I've watched every episode of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super. We're talking about hundreds of episodes. But my favorite anime of all time is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because it was a concrete story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. And getting to an ending and being left wanting more, that is a good thing. Anyway, let me know what you all think about this. Do you share in my sentiments about Nomura, his retirement, the Kingdom Hearts series, him getting his Final Fantasy title? You guys let me know what you think. Obviously, there's a lot to discuss here. We're going to go live breaking down this interview in full. We have a lot of Kingdom Hearts stuff from this interview to discuss. We have a lot of Final Fantasy stuff from this interview to discuss. So definitely stay tuned for that on the channel. Thank you all for tuning in. You all be good out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And I will see all of you beautiful sickos and normies next time.